This video on the Cisco Catalyst Instant Access solution is presented to you by the ENG Training Group in collaboration with Vivek Baveja, Senior Technical Marketing Engineer. The objective of this video is to provide an overview and a demo of the Instant Access solution utilizing the Catalyst 6500 and 6800 series switches. This video covers a basic introduction to Instant Access, a demo showing the configuration specifics, and further links and contacts to obtain more information and details about the Cisco Catalyst Instant Access solution. This VOD is intended to target anyone who is willing to learn about the Cisco Catalyst Instant Access solution. It can be shared externally to demo the Instant Access features and setup. The three main components of the Instant Access solution are shown here. The first is the Instant Access Parent, which is the distribution layer of 6500s using the SOUP 2T running in VSS mode. The second component are the Instant Access Clients. In this scenario, we show the 6800 Instant Access switches. The third component are the 10 gig fabric links that connect the parents to the clients. Traditional campus deployments consisted of several stacks of switches that needed to be configured individually to update the network. Cisco Catalyst Instant Access creates a single network touchpoint and a single point of configuration across distribution and access layer switches, simplifying design, deployment, and operations for enterprise campus networks. Cisco Catalyst Instant Access enables the merging of physical distribution and access layer switches into a single logical entity with a single point of configuration, management, and troubleshooting. The solution simplifies enterprise campus networks by bringing in provisioning and operational simplicity. As depicted by the image here on the left, in a traditional architecture, each device is managed separately. The image on the right depicts the new Instant Access architecture where all the devices are managed as one device.
Hi, this is Vivek Baveja. I'm a Senior Technical Marketing Engineer at Cisco, focused on Catalyst series of switches, Catalyst 6500, 6800, and Instant Access. And I'm going to show you a brief demo of Instant Access today. So let's look at the network topology we are going to use for this demo. We have two 6500 series switches. It could be any of the 6500E series switches or any of our newer Catalyst 6800 series, that is 6807 or 6880, both configured in a VSS pair, and 6800 series or 6500 series switches loaded with Supervisor 2T and a 6904 line card configured in 10 gig mode. Connected to it is our Instant Access client 6800 IA using 10 gig fiber between the 6904 line card and the Instant Access client using SFP plus optics. What we're going to do in this first demo is provision Instant Access client without even consoling into the Instant Access 6800 IA by just configuring our 6500 series parent switch and bringing the Instant Access client up. So let's do the demo. Now we are logged into our distribution VSS pair. The top console is a console into the VSS pair, and you can verify the VSS high availability configuration by doing show switch virtual, and you will see that the 6K are configured in VSS pair with SSO mode. What we also have is a console into the Instant Access client, which in practical purposes would not need to be used. However, for the purpose of demo, I have consoled in to show how once the Instant Access client comes up, while we configure 6K at the distribution, the prompt at the Instant Access client would automatically change, and all the interfaces of the Instant Access client will automatically show up at the distribution layer. Now, step one of configuring Instant Access is to really build an Ether channel between the 6K box and the Instant Access client. This Ether channel, like any other traditional L2 Ether channel, is built by basically building a channel group into the port channel. And what I've already done is build that. So I've used Ether channel 108 summary, and that shows the two 10 gig interfaces are part of the Ether channel 108. To provision Instant Access, what we're going to do is configure this port channel, Ether channel, in fixed fabric mode instead of a trunk, which we typically do in a traditional or classical architecture. So let's do that. Also, we need to associate a FEX ID, the ID we will identify this instant access client with. This ID could be between 101 and 108. And we're going to use 108 in this case. That's all it needs to do to bring the instant access client up. And as we do it, the instant access parent, which is the 6500, reaches to instant access client, automatically negotiates the Ether channel bundling and provisions instant access. And the best way to see it, we see the prompt here has changed to instant access. If you also look at the Ether channel state, show Ether channel 108 summary, you would see that both the 10 gig interfaces are already aggregated part of the Ether channel 108. To verify that the instant access client is up, you can use show FEX 108 detail, and you will realize that the instant access client status is online. Both the 10 gig interfaces, which are part of the Ether channel, are bound to the instant access client. Another way to see that this is truly like a line card is doing a show mod 108, show mod FEX 108, and you will see that the instant access client 108 truly is represented like a line card on the show module output. Now, since this instant access client has come up, all these interfaces of instant access client should show up on the running config of the 6K parent, and you can do that by verifying show run FEX 108, and you will see all the interfaces which are at the instant access client represented here on the 6K distribution box. And from now, at this point, you can practically go in and start configuring each of the interfaces directly like a L2 or L3 using IPv4 or v6, because it inherits automatically all the Catalyst 6K features and capabilities at access. You can even do MPLS or VPLS directly from the host ports. Now that we have shown the simplicity of provisioning instant access client but directly configuring 6K, I want to quickly show you how simple it is to add additional stack members to the instant access client. What I'm going to do is boot an additional stack member directly connected to FlexStack cable to the instant access client, and as the box boots up, it will automatically show up as a module 2 and associated to the FX 108 as we provisioned without doing any additional configuration. So provisioning of additional ports using stacking will be of zero configuration, and it will just truly plug and play. Let's see how it goes. So now we are back on our 6K console, and since we have already provisioned one instant access client, that should be visible as a line card on the 6K. So by doing a show mod, we can actually see there is one instant access client associated to FEX 108. What I'm going to do is bring up another stack client, which I'll boot up, and as it boots up, it'll show up automatically as an OIR in the show module FEX, and also its interfaces and configurations will show up on the 6K. So let's wait for the client to boot up. As you'll see that the instant access stack member came up and is automatically assigned a FX ID as it is associated. A show module on the 6K would actually start showing up two modules automatically. If you look at the configuration on the 6K, it'll show you all the 2 and the 1 module configurations along with it. You can actually look at specifically for module 1 and module 2 directly by doing show run FX 108, and you can say module 2, and it'll show you just the configuration of module 2. Okay. Now that we have brought up two stack members and verified their configurations and provisioning at the 6K, as a next step, let's put some traffic on the individual host ports of the stack member. and see how the traffic flows and the counters are directly shown at the 6K. Now we are back on the 6K console, and I will configure two host ports on the FEX 108 stack members. And I'll be using interface range commands to do multiple interfaces in one go. Now that both the ports are configured where the traffic is, I'll go into the traffic generator. We have two ports on Ixia configured for the traffic generation. We have a stream here for FEX 108, and I'm going to run that stream across the two. If you look at the statistics view, I'm sending around 2000 frames across the port from one to the other, and he's receiving 2000 frames. So let's verify the counters on the 6K for the traffic coming at the instant access ports stack member 1 and 2. That's the configuration, and let's see the interface numbers. And we are seeing the traffic come in here. And let's verify the traffic going out through the other port on the stack member 2. And the traffic is going out through the other interface. All the traffic is going up to the 6K on the 1604 line card for the traffic switch, and that could be verified by looking at the port channel statistics. If you look at it, all the traffic is coming in on the port channel and going out, and all the 2000 packets per second are going through it. So now that we have brought the stacks up, put the traffic on, verify the traffic counters across the interface ports as well as through the port channel, as the next step, what I'm going to show you is add additional fabric links, the simplicity of adding additional fabric links from the 6K to the instant access clients. So we originally started with two 10 gig ports connected to the instant access client, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to add additional two links directly from the 6K without really getting into the instant access clients by one single CLI command. Back on 6K console, let's verify the status of FEX and how many 10 gig ports are connected right now. So the FEX 108 is online, and we have two 10 gig uplinks connected from the instant access client to the 6K, and we are going to add two more to this. Now I've already cabled up two 10 gig links to the stack member 2, and I'll just add those as part of the channel group. All I'm doing is making it part of the channel group. Once I do that, automatically the two additional ports of 10 gig are aggregated and part of the port bundle. And if you do now show FEX 108 detail, you see there are 4 10 gig uplinks connected for FEX 108 but just for a single CLI command on the fly. That concludes our demo.
Information about the Catalyst Instant Access solution can also be obtained by visiting www.cisco.com/go/instant-access or by accessing the links provided. For further information, please feel free to contact these subject matter experts. Thank you for watching. We hope this demo was useful to understand the Cisco Catalyst Instant Access deployment and setup.